So it's October 16th, which means it's about that time of month for 3 stocks I'm watching for November 2018. Let's go. So after the sell-off that we had last week, this is a great opportunity to talk about some stocks that are on some pretty big discounts right now and that have some pretty good opportunity for growth ahead of them. So in my opinion, this is a good time to go shopping for some great value stocks, some great staple blue chip stocks. And today we're going to be talking about 3 solid companies that fit this criteria. So as usual, we're going to have our like challenge. If you guys get 300 likes on this video in the first 48 hours, I will release a second 3 stocks I'm buying for November video. And trust me, there's a lot of stocks out there over this last week or so that have gone on some pretty big discounts. So if you want to see some more growth type stocks, I'll do those in the bonus video if you guys get 300 likes in 48 hours. Also, I want you guys to comment down below on what stock you want to see a deep dive analysis on down below. So whatever stock gets the most either comments or likes on a comment will be featured in an upcoming deep dive analysis video. Oh, and if you guys have been wondering where I've been over the last week or so, I know I haven't been releasing videos. Well, here's a hint as to where I was. I was on vacation, but now I'm back full force and there will be tons of videos being pumped out. So make sure to drop a like for that as well. And we did hit 8,000 subscribers while I was gone, so I appreciate all the support you guys give me. I truly enjoy making videos for you guys, and I truly hope you find some value in each and every video that I make. But enough sappy stuff, let's get into our first pick here, which is Visa. So what can I really say about Visa? It's one of those companies that's just a staple in most portfolios. Anyone who wants exposure to the financial space, anyone who wants a stable blue chip dividend stock, Visa fits that criteria. It's a slow but consistent mover, and it's a brand that's recognized worldwide, which is why I love it. Now, a lot of people have this bearish sentiment on Visa, especially if you live in North America, and you say, well, pretty much everyone already has a Visa card, so what potential do they really have? But if you look at their worldwide potential, most people still use cash, and that's where the opportunity really lies for a company like Visa. But even so, even with their existing customers, with each and every transaction that you make, Visa takes a cut out of that from the merchant. Now, even if that's a $1 purchase, which is something that I do a lot, you know, you go to like your local Tim Hortons or Starbucks or whatever coffee shop you like, and you purchase a coffee or mocha, whatever it is, even if it's $1.50, whatever that is, most merchants, larger merchants, accept Visa. And as a consumer, this is great because it's easy to pay, you earn points, and you don't have to worry about the hassle with cash or change or anything like that. Now, of course, it's a very similar story for MasterCard as well, but I prefer Visa personally. So as we can see, according to analysts over here, Visa has almost a 20% upside from its current price, which is absolutely incredible considering how it's performed already over the last few years. Nonetheless, though, analysts are very bullish on this company, with 17 of them having a buy rating and only 1 having a hold rating. None of them have a sell rating on Visa. As you can see here as well, we have a lot coming out with either a reiteration or initiation with a strong buy rating on this company. So really the bottom line here is that sentiment on Visa looks very strong. And if you guys want to see more details on what analysts think, their price targets on Visa or any other stock, make sure to check out TipRanks. I have a link in the description where you can go check out your stock, sign up for free, and you're going to have access to any company that you personally invest in. You can see what analysts think about those companies. Now, the technical charts here also tell us a good story about Visa. As we can see with the sell-off, we came down to the 200-day moving average, which is a very healthy sign for a stock. What I also like is that this is a level we haven't touched since late 2016 or early 2017. And the fact that we held this and we actually had good buying at this level shows us that there are buyers that are waiting on the side to go in and step into the stock at good prices. So thanks to the buyers stepping in, we've kept the trend intact and we're still looking pretty healthy on the chart here. Now, the level that we dropped to also correlates with the lower trend support that I've been watching. So this again shows us that there's good support at these prices for Visa. Now, you gotta understand that I don't expect Visa to really shoot up to its all-time highs or even past that in like a few days or something like that, because it is a company that's consistent, it's slow, but it does move over time, and that's what I really love about it. Even though it's not going to move as fast as some of the other growth companies out there, it is one that's going to keep your portfolio fairly stable, which is what attracts a lot of investors to a company like Visa. Now, I do have a position open with options for a swing play in Visa, so I am personally bullish on this company as well. Now, as usual, if you want to see my trades, I am posting them in my VIP group. So if you want to join and see what stocks I buy or sell, make sure to check out that link in the description as well. So like I said, MasterCard is actually in a very similar situation here as Visa. It also dipped significantly, which gave us a good buying opportunity there as well. But when you're looking at these two companies, my personal favorite is still Visa. It has better value in my opinion in terms of its PE and its dividend compared to Visa, which is why I have chosen Visa as my #1 pick in November 2018. Moving right along to our second pick here, and that's a company called Microsoft. So I'm not going to spend time talking to you about what Microsoft is, who founded it and all that stuff, because everyone should know what Microsoft is. And in fact, most of you are on your computer right now watching this on a Microsoft PC. However, I will be releasing a deep dive video on Microsoft very soon, most likely the next week or so. And this will cover pretty much everything about the company, its financials, all of that stuff. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But in a nutshell, really, the reason I'm bullish on Microsoft is for three main reasons. Versus their Microsoft Office suite, and the fact that they're pursuing a subscription-based service for that. The second is Azure, which is of course their cloud service, which is closing in on AWS. And the third is Xbox, which is also pushing a subscription-based service. And subscription-based services, in my opinion, are the way to go because you have consistent stream of revenue coming in from your customers, and you typically lock them in for a longer period, like a year or 2 years. So you have that stream of money coming in, you can get support for that, and it's just a very profitable and lucrative business. And yes, Microsoft is another company that I have options in, and it is for a swing term play. So similar to Visa, I love the stability that Microsoft provides. Even with big market sell-offs like we had last week, Microsoft usually holds its own and doesn't drop that much. So this is great for existing investors who are holding the stock and want to see that stability, but it's not so great for new investors or potential investors that want good value when entering Microsoft. Because it doesn't have that many dips in the year, it's really hard to find opportunities to get this stock at a good value. But that being said, the sell-off last week did bring Microsoft down to a level that was a pretty good bargain in my opinion. But before we get into the charts and start talking about that, let's look at the analyst sentiment here. So as we can see, Microsoft is pretty much another company that has mostly bullish sentiment. In fact, the overwhelming majority have a buy rating, with only one having a hold and one having a sell. Now with all of this accounted for, it still has a potential 10% upside, which is huge for a company of this size. And as you can see, the last few ratings that have come out for the stock have all come in well over $120 per share. Some even at $130 per share. So there's still a lot more upside than analysts see in this stock. So I think it's pretty safe to say that the sentiment in Microsoft is fairly strong. Now let's take a look at the technical chart here to see if we still have the trends in Microsoft intact. So as we can see, Microsoft dipped last week, like I said, but not too bigly compared to some of other stocks. We did go below the 100-day moving average, but it recovered fairly quickly from that. We haven't touched the 200-day moving average since mid-2016, which is a bit worrisome for me personally, and this may happen in the near future if there is, say, another market sell-off. Microsoft might be one of those companies that gets hit harder than other companies because it has withstood some of the other sell-offs, say in early February or the one last week, fairly well compared to other tech names. But for those of you looking to build a position in Microsoft, maybe for the long term, this is a great opportunity to go in my opinion. Now, if we look at how much we dropped, we went from around $116 at its peak all the way down to $104. So that provided a good opportunity if you were buying on the way down. You have a pretty good cost base by now, but even at the current prices, it's still a good value. But like I said, don't expect overnight massive riches gains in Microsoft. It is a consistent, slow grower, but it is a stable company to have in your portfolio. Okay, so now getting into our third and final pick for November 2018 is another stable and consistent company that's actually often very overlooked. They provide their services and products to companies in all different kinds of spaces, and they are the leader in the CRM space. And in fact, that is their ticker symbol, and that company is Salesforce. So Salesforce is a company that's known for its rock-solid CRM, which is a customer relationship management platform. And this CRM platform really is their main driver for their revenue and their profits. Their CRM platform is actually used by some of the largest companies out there to keep records of their existing customers or any potential new opportunities for new customers as well. In my opinion, it's a platform that's miles ahead of the competition, which is why they consistently see more companies join and more companies stay with them as the years progress. Now, the reason that Salesforce specifically caught my attention this month, and which is why I wanted to include it in this list, is because it actually got hit harder than some of the other tech names. And that, in my opinion, is very unusual because it's not really seen as a very volatile stock. It's a very slow mover. It's similar movement actually to Microsoft, but it did get hit pretty hard over the last week. Before we look into the chart, you guys know the drill. Let's take a look at what analysts say about Salesforce. So again, as we can see here, there's very bullish sentiment around Salesforce. 25 analysts have a buy, 2 have a hold, and none have a bearish or a sell rating on the stock. Not only that, analysts see at least a 20% upside in Salesforce, and recent upgrades that have come in for the stock are coming in at $180 per share, which shows an even higher than 20% upside. So in terms of sentiment for Salesforce, it's still very strong and very bullish. Now let's get into the fun stuff and look at the chart to see if the trends for Salesforce are still intact. So as with the other 2 stocks that we looked at and the charts that we looked at, Salesforce is very similar. It came down to a good value to enter the stock in. We came very close to the 200-day moving average, but didn't quite test that. And again, this is a level we haven't tested since late 2016 or early 2018. Now, I personally would have liked to see a test in the 200 days similar to Visa, as that's typically a very healthy sign for stocks, and that's usually a level they want to test every so often. So the fact that we got close but didn't test it is a little bit worrisome. But that being said, buyers did come in, step in before we got to the 200-day moving average, and push the stock higher before we even got a chance to go any lower. So what I do is I keep a personal close eye on the lower trend support, which is around $126, $125 or so. And that may be our target if we see more market sell-off or we see more weakness in the space with growth stocks or software stocks in general. But for what it looks like, since we're entering earnings seasons now, this may not happen anytime soon because tech is expected to report pretty strong earnings. But you never know what'll happen. Maybe we do see some misses across the board and we will see some lower prices in some of these big names. We did drop pretty significantly, like I said, in Salesforce. We went from around $161 per share to around $136 per share, which is actually a pretty big drop for a company like this and a stock that's traditionally very stable. But in general, if you look across the board, software stocks got hit pretty hard last week, including companies like Adobe, which again is another strong performer. But if you look at the fundamentals of companies like Adobe and Salesforce, everything is still intact. There's still a lot of growth moving forward, and things are still looking good from a technical perspective. So I also have a swings position in Salesforce with call options. And again, if you want to see my trades in my portfolio, make sure to check out the VIP group, link in the description below. But either way, guys, don't forget to comment down below on what stock you want to see a deep dive video on next. And trust me, I'm going to read every single comment, I'm going to tally up the votes, and I will feature the top stock in an upcoming deep dive analysis video. And also remember, if we get 300 likes on this video in the first 48 hours, and it's something we haven't done before, but if that does happen, I will make a second 3 stocks I'm buying for November 2018, and I'll focus more on growth stocks because you guys love growth stocks as well. So I know you guys appreciate different stock picks every single month, and I hope that this month's stock picks actually give you some good value options out there, you know, for more stability in your portfolio. Because in times where there's a lot of uncertainty or fear, these good, stable, blue chip dividend stocks actually provide a lot of safety in your portfolio. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one.